Hi, welcome at the training and certification program of the Event Planner event software. I'm Kevin van der Straten, founder and CEO of eventplanner.net. I will be your trainer for this course. This program will help you get the most out of our software and at the same time help you focus on what is really important for you. And that is organizing remarkable events. With our certification program, you can show potential customers and employers that you master the fastest growing event platform on the market. Just a quick warning. We try to keep this training program as accurate as possible. But since our developers constantly improve the platform and release new functionalities, it might occur that not every new feature is in this course. So please also refer to all the documentation and other materials we have available for you. As you know, our event software comes completely free. That means you can use all functionalities without paying a dime. There are, however, some limitations in the software, like the number of people you can work with together, the number of events you can organize per year, or the number of items on, for example, a checklist. But don't worry, the limits are set quite high, so you probably won't run into any issues. But if you love using our software and want to contribute, feel free to upgrade to a premium account. It would really help us. Alright, let's start and dive into the event software. We will start with creating a new event. And how will we do that? By clicking on event software in the main top navigation. On the left side of the screen you see the menu, where you see all the tools we have available, like mood boards, checklists, call sheets, budgets and then contacts. There are multiple ways of creating an event. I will start with the easiest one, and that is clicking on Add a New Event. Let's say we organize a product launch, a date for the event. Let's say we are organizing something on the 20th of February in 25. An event type. Okay, we have a product launch type. We have different type of events. And why is this important? Is because when you create a new event, we can pre-fill the checklists for you. So that means that if you choose, for example, I will organize a wedding, that we will pre-fill your checklist with all necessary steps that in a typical wedding are needed to do so. But if you don't want us to pre-fill the call sheet, you can also select the checkbox at the bottom of the screen, which says start from a blank template and don't pre-fill my event with a checklist. And of course you can change things, delete things and so on, but you have a good starting point to start with. What is not visible here for now is the possibility to start not from our template, but from a previous event. That means that you could reuse your checklist, that you could reuse your call sheet. What is also possible with our tools is that you start from last year's event and build on that. I will show that later on in this video how that works and how it looks like, but it's good to know that you have that possibility for now. The tool also asks us to enter the number of people. That will become important later. When we start building our budgets, we also keep in mind if you work with prices based on units, for example, the number of people, you have a caterer and he asks $20 per person, then we can calculate the budget based on the number of people you enter here. Okay, we will learn later on also how to override that, but for now I will enter 250 people. It will also ask a region. Why do we ask the region? If you enter the region, let's, for example, I say I organize my event in Antwerp. Why in Antwerp? Event Planner is based in Belgium, so I choose Antwerp. Important, select Antwerp from the drop-down you've just seen. What happens now is if I start organizing my event and I come to the point where I need to select, for example, an event venue, the software will help you guide finding the right venue for your event, and then we can do that based on the location of where your event will take place. You can also enter a budget. For example, let's say I have $100,000 US available, but you can also switch between currencies if you want to work in euros or British pounds. These are the currencies we're currently offering, and we'll be adding new ones in the future. Standard, we work with prices including VAT. For some B2B events, you might want to work with prices excluding VAT, and then you can tick on this box. We will talk about this feature more in depth when we will be discussing the budgets functionality, but for now we leave it. And we can also put in a description here. I organize a product launch for eventplanner.net. All right, we filled in all the information, so we can click on Save. So what happened now is that you see on top of the screen, there is now your event name. That means we are now in the product launch event. We can also click on there to probably add a new event. You can work on multiple events at the same time. And you will see that all the tools are now ready to be using. And like I said, if I go back to checklist, because we selected to pre-fill the checklist, you see that we did put 46 tasks ready for you to organize a product launch, going from building your budget, doing a briefing, selecting an event agency or doing it yourself, and so on and so on. Like I said, there are also other ways to create a new event. First of all, let's circle back to the possibility to create an event based on a previous event you organized. So now we have product launch here. If I click at new event, then I get a new screen. So you can still choose to create a totally new, a blank event, like we did in the previous step. Or, for example, select product launch, the event you organized last year. The smart thing about the software is that it will recalculate all the dates of the tasks and call sheet items for the event. Let me explain that a little bit. So if you, for example, have a task on your project management board, what we call the checklist. If you have a task on the checklist and last year you did the task 3 months before the start date of the event, then our software will recalculate based on the new date of the event when that task needs to be performed. Again, 3 months upfront. Same for call sheet items. So if you have a call sheet and the day before the event you need to start decorating the venue and things like that, then also on the new call sheet created, the date for decorating the event will be the day before the new date of the event. So if I select product launch as the previous event on which I will base my new event and I click next, then you will see it already pre-fills whatever we had. We have the name, we can set a new date, and like I said just before, this date will be used to recalculate all the other dates. So for example, I say I organize this event on the 20th of February, but on 2026, something like that. Again, I have all the choices. I can change the number of people, the region, maybe we do the event on another region or venue, budget, and then here on the below, you can choose to import the contacts for the event. Here you can decide which of the people you worked with together on the last event you will also be working on the new event. So the assignments keep the same. If you leave somebody out, for example, you had a colleague working together with you but is not in the company anymore, if you leave him out, all those tasks and assignments will be assigned to you as the organizer of the event, and you can then reassign them to somebody else. So we'll call this Product Launch 2026. Let's save this one. In the navigation you now see our initial product launch and the product launch 2026, so you can switch between these events very easily for all tools. If you switch tools, we remember what event you were working on. The last option to create an event is not from within the event software itself, but from anywhere on our platform. So let's say I go to the directory on our website. I go to the event venues. We said that we wanted to do an event in Antwerp. So I'll select venues in Antwerp. Okay, let's say I want to organize an event in De Sterre. It's a very nice event venue in Antwerp. And I click Get a Quote. When you request a quote, you always have the possibility to do that for an event you've already created before. And that's handy because then all the quotes you asked are linked to that event. So I can say, okay, get me a quote for the event I just created. Or you can say, create a new event. And then when you enter the data here, we'll create a new event from here. As you can see over here, you have less options to set. That means that we will create the event with the standard values. If we go back to the event software and click on Show Info, here you will see all the information on the event you've entered. You can always click on Edit and change the things you want to change. And last but not least, there's also an Archive Event button. If your event is over, cancelled or whatever, you can always choose to archive your event. And that will result in not showing the event anymore in the drop-down for switching between events. That's very handy if you work on a lot of events and the drop-down gets very long, that the events you don't need anymore, you put in an archived mode so they don't clutter your screen. If I click on archive mode, you will see indeed that the event is out of this list. That's what we wanted. But there is a new link here, archived events. If I click on that, you go to the archive. You will see all the events that are archived. You can still open them, look at them. And even if we go again to Show Info Edit, you can even unarchive them. This is handy to keep things clean in your interface. The last thing I want to show you in this video is when we go to the normal setting screen of the whole platform. That's just by clicking on your name in the top menu. If you then go to the Personal tab, you see here all the communication preferences. You can see, okay, which newsletters are you subscribed to? But what is really interesting, and I wanted to show you right here, are the notification preferences. In general, overall, you can choose between three ways we communicate with you. We have push notifications. Push notifications are notifications we give to the app. So if you have our Event Planner app installed, you get notifications within the app. You can get emails or you can get notifications on the website. Those you can't turn off, but the others, if you want them, you can turn them off. On top, you can change in general what channels you would like to prefer, but then you have all the types of notification we send. For example, for the event software, we can send notifications when you get an assignment. When somebody of your colleagues assign you to a task or a call sheet entry, we can send you a notification for that. And here you can click on Edit and select specifically for that kind of notification whether you want to have the push email or consolidated email notifications. What's the difference between email and consolidated email? An email is whenever the action occurs. So if it's at 10 a.m. in the morning and your colleague assigns you to a task, then you get immediately that email. The consolidated email is once per day we send an email with all the notifications you've got throughout the day. We also have that for reminders. For example, if you have a task assigned in the project management tool checklist and you want a reminder when the task is due, okay, here you can set those reminders on and off. So that's a wrap up for this first training video. In the next videos, we will go in depth over all the tools we offer in our event planning software. Hope to see you there.